人気すぎるのも悩ましいものだね。ま、こんなに好かれているんだから仕方ないか。
追加料金が必要です。
Alright, let's get started. Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day. Cat is on my lap tonight. The silly boy. Hello. Just took a shower, so my hair's gonna be taking a little while to dry. But yeah, tonight we're continuing Major World Quests by getting into the Fontaine Research Institute Chronicles. Let's see. Well, let's deploy a Fontaine team. Now we're ready to go. So I don't know what to expect. Last time, we did Anne of Narcissan Cruz, and that had like the Narcissan Cruz Ordo. I don't know if it will be directly connected here or not, but we'll be going through, grabbing different ones, and of course on the map, how you can tell if one is important or not is if you see it pop up, and it has a different symbol. Like I believe there's one right over here. It's a little different as well. Or, yeah, if it's like that, that's, that definitely tells you, hey, do this world quest. So we still have quite a few to catch up on, but doing my best to get there before Fontaine, before Nod Cry. I don't think we'll quite make it, but if I can catch most of the way up, I'll be pretty happy with that. Fontaine Research Institute, stagnating in the rubble. I do know this is like 3 parts, but it's pretty short overall, like maybe a bit over an hour it will take us to complete. So, without further ado, let's get into it. If you guys enjoy, feel free to like and subscribe and all that. After navigating an incredibly cumbersome procedure, you take on an assignment related to the Fontaine Research Institute, but before you can officially begin, though you have to undergo a final review. Preliminary review location. Okay. Let's go on over and check it out. And then yeah, I do want to do another short stream tonight for the other Fontaine quest, the Fairy of Aeneas, I believe, something like that. I want to check it out. Hello. You Adventurers Guild guy?
Place Catherine marked for us. Seems to be nothing here. Seems to be someone.
Help! Don't just watch! Oh yeah, my voice is going to be slightly cooked tonight because did some voice acting earlier, and yeah, it was fun to do the voice acting. It was not fun trying to pick the best lines out of a bunch of them. You know, just the troubles of editing, and you know what sounds good to my ear might sound not good to someone else. There's no end to these stupid mecha. Oh, my lovely muscular legs are now full of these horrid wouts and bruises. Thank you, friend. If it weren't for you, I'd still be taking a beating from those mecha. Oh, sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Desnos, a member of the Fontaine Research Institute, an assistant researcher, or so I used to be. Desnos, Fontaine Research Institute Qualifications Review Director, Representative Office. You have a massive title. Now I'm responsible for receiving the adventurers who come here for recruitment and conducting preliminary qualification reviews. So that's why. I was like, is that an adventure over there? Not quite, but does have the job of checking if you're good enough. They're called preliminary qualification reviews, but it's more just me checking if they're carrying all the proper documents with them. So, tell me about the Institute's commission. Ah, you're here for the recruitment too. Sorry, please excuse my manners. Let's talk business then, shall we? Did you bring all the documents with you? If not, I can help you with the ones you're missing. Got 'em all right here. Good, let's see. 1 proof adventure qualifications, and 1 day 30-day travel history. All nice and clear. This'll do just fine. I notice you've only got 1 adventure handbook with you. I'm going to need you to show me all the adventure handbooks you've used and are currently using so I can take a photo of them. This is the only one I have. Well, you're quite the young and promising one then. No matter, it's easier having everything in one book anyway. Oh yeah, also, Zenla's live stream tomorrow. Very excited to check that out. Now for your commission history. Income statement, commission evaluation info, commission statistics, and average positive ratings. You're very hardworking, and you've quite the income too. Good faith commitment, a notice of liability, a notice of obligation, and a notice of exemptions on information release for legal purposes. The last one wasn't really that necessary, but oh well, still. Very good. Well done. All your documents are with you. Thank heavens. You're the only candidate within the past 2 weeks who actually prepared all the proper documents. Now all you need to do is go to the Fontaine Research Institute to undergo a final review. I was meant to be the one to take you there, but those stupid mecha injured my leg.
It's okay. Just tell us where it is, and we'll head on over there ourselves.
Sounds good. I'll mark the location down on your map. Oh, and by the way, I suggest you head straight to the roof and talk to Mr. Knacker. The Institute sent him to work in the area. You can go talk with him. There are lots of clockwork mecha in the nearby wilds, so he's definitely going to need a formidable guard.
Wait, you haven't passed your final review yet. Why are you assigning us work already? Haven't passed your final review yet.
And there's no compensation either. Well now, just hear me out. Mr. Knacker's a senior researcher at the Fontaine Research Institute who once even did research under Edwin, so he's got some sway in the Institute. Maybe we've heard that name before. While exploring Sumeru and reading about the Institute before we got to Fontaine. Sorry, some of the quests I've done, it's been months. If you were to get along well with him and incidentally demonstrate your capabilities to him to prove your worth, then you're going to have much better chances at passing the review.
So, what you're saying is that we should help this Mr. Knacker and thank him for the privilege while we're at it?
Precisely. You can tell him, before arriving at the Fontaine Research Institute for the final review, Mr. Desnos has first tasked me with being your guard and ensuring your safety. Anyway, I won't hold you any longer. He should be on the roof. I've still got to... Ouch! My leg! Those stupid mecha! Hey, fair enough, buddy. Started. That's always so satisfying. The start and end screens to a quest. Sense of satisfaction. Some extra lore. Yeah, it's still there. What's over here? More lore's around? Yes. Sure, let's read it off. Since we're here. Project proposal. To support the development of research at the Fontaine Research Institute of Kinetic Energy Engineering, it has been decided through internal discussions to initiate Phase 2 expansion for the Institute, with senior researcher Raimundo Havenbart in charge of said project. After thorough investigation, argumentation, analysis, and research, it has been concluded that the eastern region of Liffey has favorable geography, excellent transportation conditions, and faces no threat from wild monsters, making it a highly suitable location for the second Fontaine Research Institute. Multiple was about to say installments. That's kind of right, but yeah, multiple locations. The project is currently suspended because Raimundo Havenboard has been transferred to the position of senior technician for the Fontaine Research Institute of Kinetic Energy Engineering. During Phase 2 of the Fontaine Research Institute expansion project, construction workers discovered an undocumented human excavated tunnel that led to the private lab of the deceased senior researcher Braves. The research facility was found undamaged. The Maison de Gestion has been briefed, pending further action. So someone was getting to places that weren't supposed to be. Yeah, man-made tunnel. External reconstruction support FAQ. Required documents and registration information for adventurers. Temporary. Or sorry, I should have said FAQ. Commission resume, income statement, information regarding commission evaluations, commission statistics, total number of stars, rating, proof of adventure qualifications, travel history for the prior 30-day period, and all past and current adventure handbooks. Well, we just had to go through. Habitual residence, contact address, contact info, emergency contact, your current name, names you've used in the past, any pseudonyms and or aliases, statement of good faith, liability notice, obligation notice, and disclaimer notices. If the adventurer has not brought complete documentation with them, the gap should be plugged on the spot in a timely manner. Any applicant with a criminal record or our suspects will be turned over to the authorities immediately. Well, good thing we didn't do this. And I think Nerverlet wiped away our history in the Maripide. Morning, because it's morning here and I don't know there. It is night over here, but it's good to see you, Alex. Yeah, we're doing a world quest tonight. Maybe another one later. And then I'll have to go to bed to get up early tomorrow for me for the Zenless live stream. Be checking that out. Darn it! Who in the world designed these mecha here? Why are we having the preliminary review here, by the way? Why not conduct a review at the Fontaine Research Institute, you mean? Well, it's because of that huge explosion, of course. Ah, yes. After the Institute blew up, the roads that led here from the court of Fontaine were cut off for the most part, not to mention the area around the Institute itself. They're a total mess. Alright, ZZZ next morning. Yep. Yeah, 2.2. So we'll be seeing more of Magus and Orphe and Seed. This is where Mr. Raimondo's project team was originally located, a place far enough from the center of the explosion to not be greatly impacted by it, you know, meaning lots of people who are still alive. And they did also bring up in the preview that there would be Exaltists involved. Even more, of course, because they've been the big bads or the main antagonists so far. Just passing by and say hello. Got to get to work soon. No problem. Thanks for popping on by saying hi, Alex. You know, as usual, I hope you have a great day. And, yeah, enjoy your stream. I will. Thanks so much, Alex. I was about to say enjoy your work, but hopefully you do. And if you don't, well, still hope you have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. See you next time. Get some water. I was voice acting a lot earlier, so. Throat is a little raw. Nah, cat's in my lap. Hey, silly boy. You know what I mean. Even though most of the Fontaine Research Institute was destroyed, our offices must continue operating, otherwise who will rebuild it? That's a good question. That's why they had him go back urgently, and also made the decision to seek assistance from adventurers. We are also following the Institute's orders, and are here to receive adventurers that come here to apply. Although many areas around the Institute have been cleaned up, and it's about time we return to our offices, Mr. Chaussure has stated otherwise. There are many things to do, and we should focus on a bigger picture. Stay where you are if possible. And just like that, our tiny office wound up staying right here. I seriously wonder when I'll be able to return to the Institute. Thanks, Desnos, for at least expediting the process for us, making sure we're good. Yep, final review. Did say on top of the rooftop, I believe. Should've just teleported up. Oh, hi kitty cat. What you doing? Oh, okay. What, you wanna hop down? What do you want, buddy? Do you want up? Go. Do you want? You're the one acting like you want to jump down. Yeah, you don't know what you want. Oh, watch out. Thank you, cat. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, he didn't finish his wet food earlier. The brat. Well, until he comes back in, we're going to get a little bit of fan noise from having the door open. I apologize for that. Hello, buddy. I've said this many times, Miss Crony. Crony? Rebuilding the Fontaine Research Institute is our only goal right now. You've said the same thing 3 times now. I know all too well that when you guys start repeating things like robots, there's definitely something big that you're trying to hide. Think what you like. As for the numerous issues you mentioned earlier, I suggest you go talk to Mr. Raimondo. What? Is he going to tell me all the things the Fontaine Research Institute is hiding? No, but his ways of beating around the bush might be more sincere. You... Anyway, Miss Crony. Miss Karani. I'm going to say Crony. I have my own business to attend to. The one next in line has been waiting for quite a while now. Hello, how can I help you? Are you Mr. Knacker? Yes, I am. You introduce yourself to Knacker and describe the final review situation. Upon mentioning Desnos, you remember what he last told you. Yep. Your guard ensuring your safety. I see. Thank you for applying, Mr. Traveler, and I suppose I must also thank Mr. Desnos' injured leg. The wilds around here do pose many dangers. Having an adventurer capable of passing the preliminary qualification review by my side would be a lot safer. I can't act like I didn't hear that. What dangers are there exactly, if I may ask? According to the investigations, lots of archaeum flew out of the institute when it exploded. Right. So another power source or something similar they're researching? I think I've heard of it before. Obviously there's Pneumon Osea, or Osea, or Osea, I believe. Well, the uncontrollable archaeum radiate energy will contaminate the surrounding environment. She like a reporter, taking notes.
Wow, wouldn't this entire area be contaminated then?
I suddenly feel somewhat short of breath. That's just your imagination at work. After leaving its catalytic environment, archaeum immediately returns to an inert state. It won't radiate or contaminate anything. And I remember the research institute was in Sumeru as well, researching Chondria tech for energy sources, right? It is apparent that Miss Crony's way of phrasing her concerns brought you unnecessary misunderstandings. Mr. Traveler, may I take another look at your documents? If you really wish to escort me, then we'll have to take something of a detour. I'm going to a few nearby places to review the technological assets of the Institute and nab some documents along the way. Who's this lady next to you? Some reporter, that's all. Indeed, that is what I am. It's a great honor to meet you, Mr. Traveler. I've heard your name from my colleagues many times before. Okay, he's still eating his wet food. I'm Crony, a journalist for the political affairs section of the Steambird. Ah, so you know Charlotte. If you have time, could we arrange a time to have a chat? And of course, Miss Paimon is also welcome to join. I'm very interested in your adventures. Let me see. How does next Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday sound to you guys? Even this Saturday could work. We could go for a cup of coffee. Or how about right now? You guys stay here and chat, and I'll go about my work duties. Trying to get her off his tail. That won't do. I've already reserved today's entire interview schedule for you, Sorry, Mr. Traveler, Paimon. We'll have to chat another time.
That's okay. We've got work to do.
Sorry.
That's okay. We've got work to do today anyway.
We need to escort Mr. Knacker first. I must stress again that I'm just an ordinary researcher now. I have no further information to give you. Plus, we've also got tedious and meaningless work ahead of us. Even if you go ahead and interview me, you won't get any useful information from it.
That won't be a problem, Mr. Knacker. All work has its own unique value. It's our job to uncover it. Don't worry about me.
Suit yourself, then. Let's get going, Traveler. According to the schedule, there's a document we need to get at the Institute's executive office. Hopefully, Konjat wasn't called up for some other work. Go to the office. Right over there.
I know I don't have any map pins left.
I hope they give us like another 50 for not cry. I'm catching up, chat. I swear. Forgot that was a way of getting around. Without using stamina, at least. Well, you can tell I haven't been here because... Whoop. There we go. Some documents around. Announcement concerning personnel changes. Announcement regarding the memorial service for Monsieur Botor. The Institute will hold a memorial service for Monsieur Botor tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. in the Academic Assembly Hall to honor his research contributions to the Institute and the people of the Court of Fontaine. May he rest in peace. Anyone not associated with the Institute who wishes to attend the service should first register with the funerary office. Making sure the cat knows he can come over here. Notice regarding sanctions for personnel conducting unapproved research. In summary, Patrice traveled to Leeway without permission and conducted experiments without the Institute's approval. He is also suspect of tampering with and falsifying experimental results. He retains his position on probation, pending investigation. All experimental data and papers from the project will be temporarily archived and in the care of Monsieur Anatoly. Anatoly? Okay, I'm remembering a name from somewhere else. Pending subsequent review and empirical verification. Notice of Edwin Eastinghouse's dismissal. They didn't mention the name Edwin before. In accordance with the Fontaine Research Institute's personnel regulations, Edwin Eastinghouse has been absent from work without permission for a long period, without having submitted any application, and is thereby dismissed from his post of senior technician, effective today, with further investigation pending, so he might have gone missing. Notice of Couturot's dismissal. In accordance with the laws of the Court of Fontaine and the Fontaine Research Institute's personnel regulations, Couturot has been dismissed from his position as a researcher of the Institute, effective immediately. The Institute retains the right to pursue further legal action in accordance with the relevant laws. Ah, so he got in trouble. Edwin missing. And for Couturot, is it actually a Couturot? Couturot? It might be. Like a coup. Oh. This is it here. Hang on a second while I go find Miss Konjat.
Whoa, what's that place? A building floating in the air?
Come here. I hate big crybaby. Come on. Do you want lap time or do you want something else? I'm hearing back. Hey, come on. Yes, get up here. Yeah, you're the one who jumped off to eat. Which I'm glad you did eat your food. Yeah, you silly boy. Silly kitty cat. Okay. Door's closed. No more fan noise. Kitty cat on my lap. Settle down, buddy. Yeah, I love you too. Lay down. There. Yeah.
Paimon gets it. This must be one of those magical, I only want the second floor. Just cut the first floor out buildings that you hear about in stories.
The Fontaine Research Institute science is the finest in the world. Was this caused by the accident? Yeah, indeed it was. What you're seeing now is the central laboratory of the Fontaine Research Institute, or should I say, what was once the central laboratory. Mr. Edwin Eastonhouse was once within, trying to develop a fuel generator using archium. Initial estimates indicate that the device could lift an entire block of buildings. I'm also trying to remember the power source, or what they called the energy that Egeria was gathering using the court, but I can't remember. The Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale. I remember that had its own name as well. My guess is that the experiment didn't turn out so well. Of course, had Mr. Edwin not left 2/3 of the Fontaine Research Institute in ashes, he would have been a shoo-in for the position of the next director. Yeah, that's a lot. And today, the heavy responsibilities that belong to the post of director, including a lifelong stipend and private dwelling, must be borne by the likes of Chaussel and Raimondo.
Paimon wonders just what kind of people Raimondo and Chaussel are. According to the evaluations of my peers, they're the type who can speak to you for an entire day without saying anything. I'm going to put that to the test.
Yep, they're good at talking in circles around people. So it is exceedingly accurate to say that Mr. Chaussel's talents are irreplaceable. Look, traveler, the location of your final review is the former location of the Elaine Guillotine. Elaine Guillotine Research Institute, and now the current residency of the Institute. Before the incident, weekly lectures were held there regarding critical projects. Of course, the old administrative functions are all still in effect and can handle the final review.
What's that plaza for? There are even seats around it. Is it an amphitheater of some kind?
I have heard colleagues stationed at the Institute speak of this place. That is the sacred ground to Fontainians, the place where Fonta was born. Refreshing Fonta, a font of refreshment. That is the Fontaine Research Institute's Academic Assembly Hall. It is dedicated to the purpose of displaying the fruits of our research, such as the combat-capable artificed dancers, the gramophone, the turbine-powered glider, among others.
Previous analysis of Institute assets show that, of the items I mentioned previously, Fonta may be the only scientific achievement that remains legally profitable.
I couldn't help but notice your wording contained a few baseless accusations.
I'm glad you noticed. In that case, would you mind giving me your opinion of the ongoing criminal activity of selling off research materials from within the Institute?
It is absolutely vile, and those involved in the matter ought to be arrested in accordance with the law.
Well then, out of those who, with access to the Institute's technical assets and the capacity to commit such a crime, who do you believe it was exactly? Could it be possible that it was?
It was a criminal. Traveler, let's keep moving. Very quick to respond. I need to go to a file storage room first and retrieve a survey anchor, which we can use to monitor the strength of the energy flows. It's not far. Let's go.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Finance Investigation Office notice to thoroughly investigate the Institute's loss of assets. Yeah, still being stolen. Effective today, funding approval for the auxiliary robo-arm, hollow propulsion wing glider, and autonomous circuit aquabus projects is suspended, pending further reviews of finances and assets. Now, like I said, things are not going great. He comes up. Fontaine Research Institute Safety Exhibition Project Director.
This document needs to be filed, and this one rewritten. There's just so much to do.
I feel ya. I get it. Now we to be on over there. Nope, not that. Though I do need to see that story. If it does, we'll do it on stream. Next week, probably. So next week will also be a Wuthering Waves update week. So that's gonna be fun. New main story to tackle. Yep, thank you. To-do. I don't have anyone with crazy climbing abilities on right now. So we do it the old-fashioned way. Crazy that they still work in the ruins like this. They're like, yeah, it's normal.
Mr. Necker, you finally come.
We came across a little hiccup on the way. Never mind that. Have you retrieved the survey anchor yet?
I was just about to bring that up with you. I don't know if it was due to the explosion, but the supporting tools that were kept here are all damaged. You should know, if you don't use the proper tools to retrieve the anchors, you will be subject to being struck by high-intensity arcane energy flows.
Fontaine Research Institute Materials Retrieval Project Director.
Oh, intense energy flow from the Archeum. Got it. Huh, what I just said was just, I didn't. Relax, sweetie. You were merely speaking the truth. It's not like you offended anyone.
What Miss Chalmay said was indeed the truth. I hope that I can say the same for what you shall write.
Whenever the truth is placed right before me, I never pretend that it's not there. That would be a mistake.
Is that so? Well, it only takes the slightest bit of effort to fixate on something, but it always takes more brain power to avert your gaze from it.
It's clear they're not having an argument with each other, but why does Paimon still feel like the vibe is even scarier than if they were?
Hurry and think of something, almighty Paimon. Let's deal with the survey anchor first, shall we?
You're right. Miss Chalmay, let's go examine the anchor.
Okay then. That said, the area where it's located is still blocked. I'll go ahead and open those ports and unblock it.
Thank you very much. See Paimon's effects through the wall. Paimon. Guess makes it easy to use wall hacks on her. Not even wall hacks, if you can just see her effects going on. Traveler, as I recall, you were an adventurer who came for the recruitment, yes? Well, when assisting our institute in its work, you'll sometimes be required to carry out certain precise operations. I'd like to see your practical capabilities first. Could you please go ahead and help Miss Chalmay operate the energy transfer terminal to clear the area where the survey anchor is of obstructions?
I guess I could. So the review has already begun?
You could say that. If you pass the final review, then we'll do a detailed competency assessment for you. After all, everybody excels at different things, and the work they can take on also differs. That is true.
And so their compensation will differ as well?
How very blunt of you, but you're not wrong.
Ooh, then we've got to show them our worth, traveler.
Just treat this as an early assessment. Miss Chalmay is over there. She'll explain to you how to operate the terminal. Please follow her instructions and unblock the area as soon as you can. I'll be watching you from the side. Actually timed or not? Do want to read some stuff first. Chat with people. Doesn't look like any. Well, okay. Nope. Lady Chalmay.
Hello. Mr. Necker has already told me that you're here to learn how to operate the energy transfer terminal. Is that right? I've written the operating instructions down for you. Feel free to take a look at them.
Resembles research terminal. Okay, transfer energy, transfer terminal, aim the crosshairs, yeah. So it's similar to what we've done before, mechanics-wise.
Good luck with your assessment.
Thank you.
If I may, Mr. Nacker, could you explain what would happen if someone were to be directly hit by intense energy flowing from Arceum?
Coma, subcutaneous bleeding, vomiting, and so on. Would you like me to list them all one by one?
If the survey anchors really are that dangerous, why would you place them in a room? You know, it feels like you're placing a coffee maker.
I've already repeatedly emphasized that as long as you follow operating procedures correctly, you should not be at any risk of direct contact with said energy flows. As for why they're locked up in a room, well, to prevent certain idiots from taking any anchors away without authorization, of course. They have no idea how they work and just figured that they might sell some shiny things for a profit. We've hung up signs, distributed flyers, and even specially organized a lecture to try to tell everyone that not only were they worthless, but they could also do you harm. However, the anchors continue to be stolen, and thus we've had no choice but to lock them up in a room. This is the truth. Are you happy now? He's definitely not. He's like, well, got what you wanted, right? Down, 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 down. Ooh, what's in the middle there? Ooh. In a room we'll have to check out then. There we go. Door open. Looks like there's where we'll have some reading materials. Excellent work. The lock has been opened. Your abilities to quickly grasp the mechanics. Your abilities to quickly grasp the mechanics and execute are both outstanding, and your value far exceeds the vast majority of those who participate in experiments. I will truthfully report your performance as such.
So what's next? Whoa, Miss Crawny, what's gotten into you?
I suddenly feel like I'm gonna throw up. Miss Crawny, please drink this medicine. Exposed survey anchors radiate with Arceum energy traces, and the place we are in now has also been affected somewhat. However, this energy level won't leave permanent adverse effects on the body. Just take this medicine and you'll be fine.
Sensitivity to it, maybe?
Ugh, it tastes terrible. Forget it. I guess this is also a kind of first-hand experience. Traveler, these 2 bottles are for you, the 2 of you. Please, drink them quickly. I'm feeling fine. Let Paimon drink it. Thanks, but I'm not feeling any discomfort at all.
Yeah, it sounds like it tastes bad. I won't force that on Paimon.
Paimon neither.
Really, that's really quite interesting. It's completely at odds with the results of the Applications of Arceum Risk Report, 3rd edition. We all should have been affected by the same amount of Arceum energy.
We're constantly journeying over mountains and seas. We're way stronger than the people you've got working here.
Correction. You can now assume that all of the Fontaine Research Institute staff are now working out in the open, beneath the sun and stars. Your report might consider mentioning the difficult work conditions we are enduring, Miss Crawny.
I've been wronged without having been notified in advance. The Steambird won't just let this go.
Saying work out more. Putting this all aside, you clearly have an extremely strong innate tolerance of the energy flow. Traveler, if so, you are certainly the best candidate to assist the Institute without question. Please approach the storage room and report any dizziness, nausea, itchiness, or any other discomfort you feel during the process.
Hold on there. Are you using Traveler as a guinea pig without fulfilling your obligation to inform him of the risks first?
It is clearly stated in Institute Abbreviation, Externally Contracted Employee Agreement Appendix C41, which he signed. Prior to being officially employed, the applicant shall be subject to a harmless Arceum energy flow tolerance test, and the Institute has the right to terminate the contract based upon the results of said test.
I hate reading text. Who the heck reads all that?
You chose not to exercise your right to read the text, but each document was clearly marked. Please sign your name after carefully reading the document, making sure there are no mistakes. However, seeing as you seem completely unaffected by the energy flow, I believe you may be just the person we're looking for. In any case, let's get down to business. Take 3 steps toward the storeroom, then hold still for 30 seconds. You follow an accurate series of complicated instructions, slowly approach the room, seeing how you feel.
We've gone this far, but Paimon still doesn't feel anything. Do you feel any discomfort?
My head! It feels like it's gonna explode! I'm feeling the same as always.
That's relief then. Paimon was worrying about how she'd carry you out of here if you were to suddenly pass out. Although, we've come all this way, and we can't see Necker or the others anymore, and it doesn't seem like we can hear them either. What do we do next? Paimon knows. Maybe they'll chuck some sort of box in here and communicate with us through that.
That would be quite handy. Do they even have that? Do they even have technology that cool?
We'll find out soon enough. Paimon can't wait to see what kind of cool gadgets they might use to communicate with us.
They're just yelling.
Traveler, can you hear me?
Oh, so they rely on the technology of shouting really loud.
Shh, I can hear you.
Do you guys feeling discomfort?
Everything's good.
That's great. Please continue on to the survey anchor. You should be able to see it now. Once you retrieve it, it will temporarily fall into a dormant state and stop radiating energy, and then we'll be able to come in.
Be careful. If you feel uncomfortable, then we'll get out of here.
Gotta be worried about the fragile humans of this world.
この世界も俺に答えているのか
Seems to be a reference book intended to impart practical techniques. Well, if we do it this way, the book lists a great number of issues that Fontaines are quite unlikely to encounter in their daily lives, provides rigorously logical solutions to said problems. However, both the title page and the ending contain requests from the author for readers to do not do such things in practice. Fontaine Research Institute Kinetic Energy Engineering. Ooh, like a layout of the map? Yeah, what it used to look like. Executive office located in the intersection between the Liffey and Fontaine Research Institute Kinetic Energy Engineering regions, primarily responsible for the Institute's various administrative tasks. Academic Assembly Hall, a venue for showcasing the products of the Institute's research to the public. The circular design of the exhibition hall allows it to accommodate a larger audience while providing a better view. Central laboratory, as Dexter would say. Located in the heart of Fontaine, Research Institute of Kinetic Energy Engineering has the most advanced instruments in Fontaine. Currently, the primary research undertaken there is related to the experimental field generator. Text that follows is too marred to be discernible. Yep. Where have we then heard about the incident that happened? What should I do? Oh, okay. This appears to be a reference book meant to teach common knowledge to people who have yet to come of age. So the other was practical. Here's common knowledge. But why is it placed inside the Institute's materials office? Weird. Fantasy Institute. Seems to be a literary work of fiction. In this book, the entire Fontaine Research Institute was transported to a fantasy world. Many researchers go on adventures together in this other world. There is a note stuck at the end of the text with the following comments written on it. Why do I still have to carry mechanisms and fight monsters even in the nether world? How is this any different from real life? Is it what counts for popular novels within Institute circles? You might as well write one in which Mr. Edwin travels to another world with his Archeum. Please refrain from placing novels inside the materials office. Also, Mr. Edwin has stated that he has no interest in traveling to other worlds. That's funny. Though, the talk about fantasy does remind me of, End of Narcissan Cruise, right? Of course we did. Retrieve. You actually managed to retrieve the survey anchor without any instruments, like it was nothing.
That's amazing. The last time, we needed at least 3 of us acting together to retrieve an anchor.
Ha ha! I'm most certain that you're exactly the talent we've been looking for. With your help, all of our work is going to go much more smoothly. Alright, I'll keep it for now. Let's leave this place and report back to the Institute post-haste.
Hang on. There's Miss Crony. Paimon doesn't see her anywhere.
She was feeling nauseous, so she stayed up there to rest. But don't worry, she's already taken her medicine. She just needs a little time.
Oh, there she is. She's like, I have to see everything for myself.
Huh, Miss Crony, what are you doing here? A bunch of mecha monsters suddenly showed up outside. They're on my heels, about to storm in. Well, thank you for that. Leave it to me.
Look out, traveler. Over there.
Yeah, we'll deal with these scum. Hey. Hi. I'm just trying. Hi, we're just trying to settle my Charlotte. How dare you? Bomb her into oblivion. Phew. Luckily, Traveler was here. These were probably the clockwork mecha that the Institute used before to monitor energy flow, as they're equipped with Arceum energy flow monitoring devices. Even in a cutscene. Or not even, even while chatting. Farina's little guys like to do their thing. Although they're now out of control, they still automatically converged here upon detecting the energy flow from Arceum.
Mr. Necker, should the Fontaine Research Institute be held accountable for these out-of-control mecha in the wilds?
I don't object to that at all. They should be held accountable.
Oh?
If you truly have a way to have those buried in the ground rise up and speak again. Also, I sincerely suggest that you stay here and rest. Miss Crony, Mr. Chaussel, and Raimondo are at the Institute's new site, and they aren't going anywhere. Essentially going, hey, you want those responsible? They're already 6 feet under. Once you're feeling better, then you can go and interview them.
Yeah, you felt so sick that you could barely even stand. Don't push yourself too hard.
Your health is essential.
True. Always look out for your health, guys. Mental health, physical, whatever it is. Emotional.
No, I can't. Interviewing Chaussel is the final step, not the beginning. That's why I'm following Mr. Necker around. I want to experience everything firsthand and get tangible evidence. I have to question Chaussel with the evidence in hand. That way, he won't be able to beat around the bush like last time. And lo and behold, I've now personally experienced the so-called harmless Arceum energy flow. No? Once I get to the Fontaine Research Institute, I'm definitely going to uncover all of the hidden truths.
I truly admire your professionalism, Miss Crony, but are you sure you'll be able to make it the rest of the way there?
Don't worry, I'll be right behind you guys. I'm a reporter after all.
Hey, don't make us tell Charlotte that one of her coworkers collapsed because they were too stubborn. Oh, see you later, Xiaomei.
The backup medicine is also nearly finished. I'll go back and get more from the Institute later. Wait, do we even have any medicine left?
Now over there. Looking at the map there, where the research institute used to be. Still very cool visual up there. Oh, cut off a line there, chat.
Park doesn't look like a park at all.
Explosion happened. Building was hit by the first shockwave. Paper acids that survived. But yeah, I think they're going like, wow, there's like nothing left here. Cause yeah, used to be a building. I think that's probably what they were saying, like, whoa, what happened here? You know, like, wow, you know, like, look at all this destruction. Miniaturized personnel recording device. Melody Dart, happy to see this. So broken, just detritus. Leave them. Those verbs always look so silly. Like they have big old bowl cuts. Copies of the Steamberg, toss them. Financial reports. Long out of date. So it looks like I might have been inaccurate with my assumption. Something under the storage drums over there.
Pile of storage drums, Institute property.
Need to remove them. Might have been wrong about my estimates. We'll see as we keep going. If I was, I'm still down to go for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Yeah. Alright, there seems to really not be anything of value here. It's time to move on.
A researcher who once worked together with Edwin Eastonhouse is now kicking storage drums around in a junk heap. Meanwhile, the Fontaine Research Institute still complains about being short-handed. The way these researchers go about things is truly unfathomable.
He's like, I heard that. Everybody's worth is reflected in different ways, and kicking storage drums is my way of doing so these days.
But I've heard that prior to Edwin's big screw-up, you had quite some sway in the Institute. Some might even say that you were second only to Edwin himself.
You were that powerful?
That no longer means anything. No, I'm merely someone who was fortunate to survive this project, and one of the culprits who turned the central laboratory into what it is today. This is the only information I can offer you, Miss Cronny.
Well, I believe that was plenty. Let me write that down. Where are my pen and notebook? My whole bag disappeared.
Oh, a thief?
I put it right next to a strange-looking mecha just now. Where did they go? You mean the one behind you?
It's right behind me, isn't it?
Huh?
Yep.
Help!
How are you always in trouble with Mega? Mecha monsters move sometimes stop moving others. Wow. Indisposed. Hurry to the Institute. Yeah, she just keeps getting jump scared by Mecha. It's twice now.
Potato.
Hey man, I'd be down to have a good old potato right now. Maybe there'll be like an hour each. We'll see. As part of the quest, stagnating in the rubble. Finally meeting him. Raimondo, nothing could go wrong here, right? Everything is running according to the set orbit. Choice-cell, round and round it goes, without any errors. Error-free everything might be, but I'm just worried about getting dizzy. Mr. Choice-cell, Mr. Raimondo. Ah, Knacker, it's great to see you. Have you taken care of those survey anchors? I trust that you've done as you always have, complete your tasks to perfection. I have. Allow me to give you a brief report. With Traveler's assistance, the anchor was successfully retrieved without any equipment. That's unbelievable. You were able to retrieve one without the use of any instruments. Goodness, thank heavens. The entire institute right now only has 3 complete sets of such equipment. I was honestly worried as to how we might retrieve the anchors as soon as possible. I didn't really do anything special. It was nothing compared to other things I've been through.
Yeah, it felt just like any other commission that we've done.
No. For you to have retrieved an anchor at all is special enough as is.
Is there any critical data in the anchor, Mr. Shosel?
Of course not. Some insignificant data, Miss Crony.
I agree with you. After all, there's no way for insignificant data to radiate with harmful Arceum energy flows, is there?
Energy flow? I mean, of course, it's necessary and must exist as a technological means of preserving the...
What I'd really like to know is why the Fontaine Research Institute would place these survey anchors to monitor the Arceum energy flow after the explosion.
Certainly. Obviously, these survey anchors are, used for monitoring...
Miss Crowley talks so fast, like...
A dendro slime on fire. A whopper flower spitting fireballs. Allow me to be more specific. How exactly is the Fontaine Research Institute planning to deal with this explosion?
Yes. I was just about to answer that question. This was an excellent question to ask, as many people are concerned about it. Miss Crony, I am so delighted that you've come to visit again. I must stress on behalf of Mr. Choisel that the Institute has never changed its solution to the explosion. Once we have recovered all the retrieval research assets at the old site, we will demolish the old central laboratory and do our best to restore the area's natural environment to its original state.
By the central laboratory, you mean that building floating in the air? How are you going to demolish a building like that?
Shoot it down with a cannon? Blow it up just like before?
Of course we shan't be using such crude and simple solutions. This demolition will utilize our newly researched experimental field generator. This device can deactivate the gravity-altering field that surrounds the Institute's ruins and land them on the ground safely.
But wasn't this device also within said ruins? And wasn't it also work of Edwin Eastinghouse that used Arceum as its energy source? So, based on what you're saying, the Fontaine Research Institute is still unwilling to give up this harmless Arceum project, yes?
I think they're not giving it up so easily.
You've been keeping up with what she's saying?
Nope, I just repeated her last sentence.
Hey, have you been doing this to pretend that you understand what's going on?
Lore skippers be like.
Anyways, the Fontaine Research Institute is still trying to do dangerous stuff in dangerous ways, right?
Great summary, Miss Paimon.
If we're discussing uncontrolled risks, well, even walking on a road may be dangerous. Also, you should note that the energy source we're using is the completely new and stable tri-state Arceum.
How does that differ from normal Arceum? Does the new word in front of it mean anything? This, to me, seems like a purely rhetorical maneuver.
I'm sure Mr. Choisel would be happy to have an in-depth conversation with you about grammar, but I've left Mr. Knacker hanging for too long, and really that's just impolite. Mr. Knacker, I trust that you've done everything that I've asked. With the Traveler's help, everything couldn't have gone any better. Is this an adventurer who came for recruitment? Knacker recounts to Ramondo everything that happened, emphasizing the amazing talent you displayed when retrieving the survey anchor. Also briefly touches on Crony's ironclad professionalism, as well as the severe vomiting reaction she had. From the joking look on Knacker's face, seems to be no ill intent in his jest about the committed reporter, or so you assume. Hair's finally drying up. That is rare, extremely rare. I'm delighted that you're applying for work at the Institute, Traveler. After hundreds of years of bad luck, we're finally catching a break. I'm confident that you'll be of great help to us.
Here are the documents I signed.
Leave them over there. Don't worry about them.
Huh? Huh? aren't you going to take a look at them? We spent ages on them, and Mr. Desnos also took them very seriously.
These documents definitely have their uses. They certainly help us weed idiots out, at least. As for you, however, I believe that your good qualities go far beyond what they can summarize, so let's leave them alone for now.
So, are you saying we passed the review?
Without a doubt, yes. I will personally prepare the contract and notice that you'll need to sign for follow-up work. Until then, Mr. Knacker? Yes. While Mr. Crony appears to be having a discussion about energy safety with Mr. Chaussel, how about you take Traveler to retrieve the last 2 survey anchors? The energy flow control operations are nearing completion. All that's left is to compile the data. Oh well, at least it's under control.
Are you guys heading somewhere else? I'll come along too.
This reporter lady sure has pretty good ears.
Also, of course, rules of 3. We retrieved 1, but we got 2 more to go. Yeah, new quest. Oh, that one makes sense. Because when I was checking, like, oh, how many steps are there? It's like, oh, here's like, 3 parts of it. And it's like, oh, this is probably what they were talking about. Like, you always have this, and then these 2 get added on. Yeah, I think we can do it. Might take another half hour to an hour, but let's have fun doing it, man. Part of the final review. After a long, mind-numbing conversation. Yeah. You arrived at the new Fontaine Research Institute and met with co-administrators Raimondo and Choisel. After a long, mind-numbing conversation, you were tasked to escort Knacker and retrieve the last 2 anchors. Perhaps it's a part of the final review. Institute dormitories. Institute clockwork applications. Just chat with them real quick. What should we do, Raimondo? Do you think we can convince this journalist? Tri-State Arceum. I always felt that the name would bring us trouble. Choisel, do you think that the name is not up to current grammatical standards, then people would criticize us for being superficial? No, Tri-State Arceum may be different from Arceum in name, but it looks exactly the same no matter how one looks at it. This is not a problem, as its internal structure is indeed different. The difference between it and Arceum is like good guys and bad guys. They're both people, but they're very different in society. Raimondo. Raimondo. People never bothered to tell the good guys from the bad guys, much less the nature of a piece of rock. They'll just say, hey, this rock looks like Arceum, and it works like Arceum, so why isn't it called Arceum? Relax, Choisel. I've already prepared the explanation script. Keep listening. See, the energy source that drives the experimental fuel generator is not Arceum, but a new one called Tri-State Arceum. This type of ore is an inert variant of Arceum that was created through a special transformation process. After entering the all-new silent excitement state, it is much more stable than the original's excited state. This won't do. They'll still just say that we're doing some kind of rhetorical trick. This rhetoric is also based on strict academic classification. All in all, you will witness its excellence after this display. But this certainly won't be able to satisfy that group of reporters. They can never be satisfied, Mr. Choisel. All we need to do is put on a display. That's all. Well, it does sound like it's different, at least. It's just, will people be able to understand that it's different? I guess is the better question. Down we go.
Look out below.
Plunge.
Is this where researchers spent their downtime? Is this even humane? Has the Fontaine Research Institute ever considered making renovating this place a priority?
There should be a survey anchor here, just like Miss Cronny implied. This place needs renovation, and the power supply here is very limited. Perhaps I should say there's a complete shortage. While I'm answering Miss Cronny's questions, I'll leave the job of recovering the survey anchor to you, Traveler.
Compared to some other areas, the dormitories weren't
impacted as much by the explosion.
Dormitories? But I don't see even one bed here. So how do the researchers gain any rest? It's not like they can sleep in chairs, right?
Miss Cronny, your idea of resting is very different from that of the researchers. When a researcher at the Fontaine Research Institute says they need rest, they only want a quick break for the brain. Their brain. Then they would usually come here, play piano, read, and have a drink or two if necessary.
But wouldn't sleeping provide more rest for the brain?
You may be correct, but to our researchers, sleeping is a waste of time in the first place. Hey, fair enough. If I didn't have to sleep, I could definitely get a lot more done, of course.
Sleeping is a waste of time? No, it is essential for rest.
True. Sleeping completely cuts your train of thought short. That's just not acceptable for our research work. Keep listening, quit listening. It's funny they give you the option.
Are you being serious? If you don't sleep, the only thing that will be cut short is your life.
Not necessarily. The Institute boasts an excellent healthcare system that guarantees researchers' health and well-being.
But that's still no reason to not sleep. Also, researchers are here to give their brains a break. Wouldn't that break their thought process from research anyway?
Not necessarily. It only seems like they're taking a break when actually they're still pondering different academic subjects subconsciously. True, yeah, sometimes you just, need to go do something else. And by doing something else, you'll figure it out. It's like, if you get stuck on something, just take some time doing another thing. I need to do that more. At least I'm figuring out ways to, use everything I do and make stuff that I hope is entertaining to you guys, of course. It's akin to a vast ocean that, while appearing calm on the surface, still has a strong undercurrent beneath. Hey, kitty cat, what you doing, Rio? Sometimes the undercurrents below are much stronger than the towering waves above.
I get it. You mean when researchers of the Fontaine Research Institute are on a project, they must keep working and are not allowed to rest, right?
That is not completely fair to say. If they truly need sleep, they're free to go back home and do just that.
So, it is fair to say that as long as the researchers of the Fontaine Research Institute are inside the Institute, they must keep working and are not allowed to rest.
Your rhetoric is simply astounding, Miss Cronny. He's like, I see what you're trying to do here. Oh boy, okay. Though, I will say, me reading a lot before is probably extending our time, of course. Thick experimental report. Experiment day. The lab equipment that was ordered hasn't arrived yet. No choice. All I can do is force myself to go to Hotel de Bois with Mr. Poitier. Mr. Poitier recommended the seasonal poisson, oyster with Salatian caviar, and a fine chardon. The poisson oysters were unquestionably the best. Full body texture, plump, soft, and juicy. Flavor lingering on the tip of the tongue like a gentle sea breeze. However, the way Mr. Poitier ate them could be said to seem a bit inelegant, as the juice accidentally squirted all over the napkin. Such a lack of etiquette would definitely be laughed at by others. Anyway, I lectured him about it. Now if only he would take it this to heart. After all, etiquette is like food. Inferior ingredients can certainly be compensated for through superior culinary techniques, so there shouldn't be any need to discriminate in terms of the quality of ingredients. But even so, people will always prefer premium food with premium ingredients. Experiment day. The lab equipment ordered before still hasn't arrived. No choice. All I can do is force myself to watch an opera with Mr. Poitier. The refreshments were as tasty as ever, but the play was only passable at best. As far as tragedies go, the farewell scene between Ernies and Egeria. Ooh, I know I need to do a quest called the Fairy of Ernies. At least succeed in squeezing a few tears out of some members of the audience, such as Mr. Poitier, although it was expected given his tastes, not laughter. There's nothing innately wrong with attempting to show the plot unfolding from the perspective of multiple characters, but if it cannot all be tied back together and the theme properly expressed, and instead completely relies on sensationalizing the climax to cover up all the flaws, then it is absolutely a misguided approach. Take, for example, the adaptation of the famous Loch Knight tale titled Mounted Python and the Pure Grail. Okay, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Yeah. Oh, yo, so cultured, man. Tech Otaku saved the world. See Lab Report, page 17. It was a superior production in every way. As the great master Alcohribus said, "'Tis better to pen laughter than tragedy, for laughter gives strength and fortifies the will." Not to mention how mortified Mr. Poitier's bawling was. Experiment A. The lab equipment previously ordered still hasn't arrived. Appears it may have gotten lost in transit. Can't do anything but force myself to reorder the equipment, then go to Café Lutece with Mr. Poitier once more. Yeah, Mounted Python and the Pure Grail. It's pretty great. Oh man, we actually have quite a bit around here. Researcher's notes. Want to take a nap, but I've got to go to a project meeting later, so I can't sleep. No falling asleep. How I wish our research project leader would stop barging in during lunch, talk about work. You could cut the air with a knife. The free coffee at the Institute is getting worse. Tastes like sawdust soaked in water. Might as well drink Fanta. Alas, I do not know when I can be transferred to another group. I really don't want to continue research on this smart lie detector of Professor Moso's anymore. Without resources inherited from him, we're like chefs working at a crafting bench. This just isn't working out. I've heard that the Institute has commissioned some adventurers to search for his base. If you ask me, they could just restart the project then, right? It's not like numbers are going to help us catch up with him if we got to force the research through while having no material to work with. There are different struggles with some eccentric individuals. Let's see about working this. Yep. So we can retrieve that from there. Oh, I see that over there. Let's get that working again. Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. Transfer energy here. Let's see if we can reach there. Just barely. I think we can pick it up after we energize it again. I believe so, at least. Nah, of course not. Of course I need to move it. There. Happy now? There we go. Yeah, sure I remember mechanics. Nice. Open sesame. Oh, just.
この世界も俺に答えているのか
I know, I'm close again. I need to feed some of those. I need a strong box and see if I can get some pieces from sets. Like archaic or stuff like that. Hmm. Ah, cipher letter. Okay, a secret. Tailheart scribbled cipher letters all over the place. Why am I not surprised? He even erased the formula for the purified solvent of butor left behind. Oh, we did hear butor before. Thanks to him, all of our project funding requests have been rejected. Guess it's time to kiss my bright future goodbye. Not only is there no place for traditional clockwork and mecha research in the Fontaine Research Institute, there's no place for me as well. I should probably try to secure a job at the Fortress of Metapide. I'm sure they need engineers there. I'm just kidding. There's no way I'm going there. I heard there aren't even windows there. I've decided to do something out of the goodness of my heart. Although butor is no longer here, I've recreated the formula for the purified solvent based on the information he left behind. I'll record the formula here, so anyone who sees this is able to use it to create the solvent and erase the nonsense that Tailheart wrote. The formula is as follows. The text below has been removed. Welp. I guess we don't know. But someone found out. But then wanted this stuff to be left behind then. Interesting. Collection work is proceeding apace. Next location. I mean, that didn't take long, so it's just like those two plus, like an epilogue or something similar then. Yeah. Be just over an hour and a half, which isn't bad. I know, I always have to add time on since I voice act and, you know, make sure to check out some of the lore stuff around. Of course, there's mecha around the, Institute of Clockwork applications. Yep. Oh, boom. Oh, I will say, would love some interruption with Reds and Chlorine. I think she probably gets a little bit, but. Ah, yes, down here. Yeah, oh man, I had done this puzzle before as well. Dang it. I remember I did this while I was exploring the open world, searching for treasures. I was like, how do I get in here? There's sure to be a surveyor here too. I'll open the door and leave the recovery to you, traveler. So that's how you get in. You're gonna just... There he goes. I believe this place was originally Butor's Institute of Clockwork Applications. In the field of clockwork machines, Monsieur Butor was one of the leading authorities. However, scientifically, the development and advancement of traditional clockwork machines had reached a bottleneck. In terms of applications, traditional clockwork machines were obviously at a great disadvantage. Anyway, Monsieur Butor's program was slowly being marginalized at the Institute. His funding was cut, and he struggled to recruit researchers. After a series of unfortunate incidents, Monsieur Butor's group finally disbanded, and this facility was completely abandoned. Ah, Monsieur Butor was terribly unlucky, if you ask me. Yeah, it's fair, man.
Yeah, I still can't forget how Choiseul just kept equivocating. And then Raimondo, so haughty and arrogant. Did you see how he was looking at me? I think you're much better than either of those two. Things would have never turned out like that if you were in their position.
I mean, who knows? Kind of seems like they're just doing the best. Okay. Doggos, I was going to say, please let me pass. Yep. Oh. Ooh. we go here. Yep. Very good. What would we need that block for? Interesting. Chest. Ah. Hello, friends. Oh. Not hostile for the moment.
受け取るといい。コホン、僕が許そう。
Oh, yep. No, they went hostile.
お願いします。
射撃準備
Contact. Oh no! I know, my Charlotte's just so low level now. That's part of the issue.
装填
I'm sorry, Charlotte. Here, let's get you back in the fight. Get you a nice stew.
悪くないわね。
Let's see, I don't think I have enough to level Charlotte either. Fortunately. By that I mean, I just don't think I have the, yeah, those, the conches, yeah, you farm those. Don't worry, I'll do it soon. I'll use her more and more, so. Especially since I won't have, mini Nog Cry characters for a while. Because I'm not planning on going anyone in 6.0. We might get Ino for free. We'll have to see. She seems to be out of the 3, and most likely to be 4-star, but we'll have to see if they're kind or not about giving her out. If they aren't, well, I won't have any Nog Cry characters, so I'll have to use characters who show up, like perhaps Charlotte, Elong, them, you know, Traveler, of course. Mr. Raimondo, the survey anchors have all been retrieved. Looks like we've really got the right person for the job this time. Put them over there. Someone will come and handle them. Now, let us get down to business. Come over here, please, Traveler. There are some documents you'll need to sign.
They're so thick. Why are there so many documents?
Because no matter how one looks at it, escorting a researcher into the ruins of the Fontaine Research Institute and then landing said ruins shall be no small matter. And since it is such an important matter, it is only natural for us to explain every detail to the one carrying out the work.
Who am I escorting?
Why, that'd be Mr. Knacker, of course. Across the entire institute, there's no one better suited than him to deal with the central laboratory ruins.
I request that I accompany Mr. Knacker.
What? I think...
Or sorry. What? I think...
This is a terrific proposal. Choisel, did you forget what we mentioned when we came up with the plan? We must keep the public informed about the rebuilding of the Institute with the utmost transparency.
Oh, that's right. The new Fontaine Research Institute has nothing to hide. Edwin made some mistakes, but we're past that now. Please go report on it. Go to the ruins of the Institute and see the mistakes Edwin Eastinghouse made. Looking back again, the Institute now is just what we've been working toward, the cause we stand for. But allow me to emphasize once again that...
And here we go again. Paimon's about to fall asleep.
I truly admire how much you guys have to say. Maybe you should call me after you're done talking.
Not to mention how every sentence seems to magically make people fall asleep. Paimon's already feeling sleepy from just half a sentence.
No, it's important business, so please come this way. Under Raimondo's guidance, you sign many complicated documents. Thanks to your prior experience, finish signing them before you know it this time. All right, that should be all of them. Thank you, Traveler. You are now an externally contracted assistant researcher for the Fontaine Research Institute.
What about Paimon? Does Paimon get any title?
You're my important assistant, Paimon.
Assistant? That just doesn't sound cool.
Don't worry. Assistants play an absolutely critical role within the Institute. But let us get back to business, shall we? Things right now in the Institute are rather complicated. The matters you'll be dealing with are also urgent, so I won't keep you for much longer. While you're on the way, Mr. Knacker will inform you of some things to note, as well as what you will actually need to do. The rest is up to you now. A lot rests on your shoulders, Mr. Knacker. Well then, please follow me, Traveler. We must get to the ruins.
Sure thing. Don't forget me.
Yes, and you. How could I possibly forget you? Go to the ruins. After a long struggle with anchors, at least you passed the final review and may officially fulfill the commission, escort Knacker to the ruins of the central laboratory. Raimondo, during our last meeting, did I really mention that we must keep the public informed about the rebuilding of the Institute with the utmost transparency? I really don't remember that. Perhaps I should check for it in the meeting notes. Could you tell me what page it was exactly? Well, by checking for it in the meeting notes, you mean you wish to see this point made in clear writing. Then I must say that it won't happen. Such a point cannot be summarized into a single sentence. This point was made based on the overall essence of that meeting, which was to first address morality in human relations and the sum total of social norms. Lastly, this concept when extracted from countless specific words and actions, so broad and generic that anyone can see and comprehend its abstract concept. So what you're saying is, I didn't say that. Correct. Yep, he's like, I made it up. Source, I made it the fuck up. Here, I want to quickly check where we're at in the story, so I know if I have like 30 more minutes or if I'm only like halfway through. It's good to know these things. Fontaine Research Institute. Genshin. Put it over 20 minutes. Yeah, they're like, it only took around an hour. And I'm like, really? I'm just gonna, skip around and I'll ballpark then. I'll go like, are we halfway through? Are we 3/4 of the way through? Stuff like that. Into the dormitories. Okay, so this is the next step. So, of an hour-long video, there's 20 minutes left. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it, chat. Let's keep going. So yeah, that might mean, like I said before, for me, probably 2 hours. Well, no, probably half an hour more, which puts me at 2 hours instead of the hour it took.
There's someone else.
Oh, that's funny. I have to go down to get up there, I guess. Which is fair, dude. I didn't explore it yet. That is so cool, though. I do love, what Hoyo did with the area. Come on, traveler. Miss Karani, this way.
So, you mean we're going to delve into this patch of water?
That's right. With the help of this allo-gravity condensed water, we can ascend the ruins of the Institute safely and efficiently. If you don't wish to do it that way, you may also go to the opposite bank and glide in from the highest mountain using a glider. Using a wind glider.
Forget it. I'm not that good at using a wind glider. I'm not really used to heights either.
Very well. Now I'll go over a few things to keep in mind when it comes to allo-gravity condensed water. Nacker details considerations of making use of said allo-gravity condensed water. And we're like, let's skip that. So in a nutshell, it's the same as when swimming or diving.
I feel like this is more flying or diving. Diving in midair will be quite a novelty.
I suppose you could call it anti-gravity diving if you had to. Is everybody ready? Miss Karani, you can still back out now if you'd like, and simply wait here for us to return.
Reporters never back down. I'll be right behind you guys. I'll try to anyway.
Alright then, if you insist, let's get going now. Go to the ruins. I mean... I'll just use my waypoint then. Higher, okay. Understood. Like, float down. Yes. This enemy type.
What's this large plane?
Paimon, assistant to the externally contracted assistant researcher. It's really funny that they gave her that title. That's the experimental fuel generator that Mr. Edwin developed.
Huh, didn't it already blow up? It looks perfectly fine now.
The thing that exploded wasn't this machine, but the Arceum ore that powers its core driver, the Arceum kinetic core.
This thing, will it suddenly start moving by itself?
Relax, this big guy can't move now that it's lost its power supply.
But didn't Raimondo say that we needed to use it to make the ruins descend? If it can't move...
Only a part of it will be activated. The tri-state Arceum can only support its operation at half speed, but that should be enough to relieve the abnormal gravity state the central laboratory ruins are in.
Paimon doesn't understand that at all.
What do you need us to do?
Please, follow me. The place where we will need to work is in the back. Miss Karani, please stay here. Some areas in the back contain Institute secrets, and you're not allowed to have any exposure to them.
I can see that back of yours from here. What secrets could be hidden inside?
I have no idea either. That's why you're definitely not allowed inside. Fair enough. It's like, if even I don't know.
What nonsense.
Anyway, please wait here. If you take photos randomly, you might capture something related to Institute secrets. For example, the formula for the sugar-free berry-flavored Fanta. This new Fanta product is quite important to the Institute. If you leak any information of it to the outside world, you need to undergo a 1-month confidential investigation and must report to the Maison Gestion at the Palais Mermonia 3 times every day and be questioned. Of course, you'll need to stop your journalistic work.
Don't worry. Even if I get taken away by the Palais Mermonia for questioning, it will only be because I've uncovered the secret you're hiding. I won't let myself be forced to stop working for a reason as absurd as leaking some Fanta formula.
I admire your work ethic. I hope everything goes well with your photo taking. Traveler, let's go. There's still work for us to do. He is very genuine, like Knacker. Taking pics of that. Hey, fair enough. It is the most eye-catching.
Huh. What it was Knacker doing?
Twice over there as well. Oh, defeat the functioning mecha. Well, I guess that spoils what's back here. So it was this way anyway. That goes just back up there. Okay. Yep. I was like, oh, maybe this will go somewhere. No. Silly.
Silly Billy Jack.
Run over here. There we go. Came down in a flash. Sometimes I really don't get why the Institute had to design the support clockwork mecha to look like humans. Just from the perspective of supporting research, hands and feet are far worse than tracking a multifunctional clockwork mecha apertures. What's this rock? Oh, this is the archium that supplies energy to the experimental fuel generator. What restrains it is the energy supply device created by Mr. Edwin. See this here? This circuit connects to the generator. Yeah, that is a big glowy rock. Looks a little bit at the top like kryptonite. Just a tiny bit, though. Of all the inert archium we found, this one was the best in terms of purity and stability. And then, boom, it went. That came down to Mr. Edwin. I trust that this wasn't the cause, or at least it shouldn't take all the blame.
Whoa, it's not going to blow up again, is it?
When that happens, I'm gonna need you to take us to the skies, Paimon. When that happens, let's jump into the water below.
Jumping into the water from a high place such as this is gonna hurt when we, splash. Worst case scenario, Paimon will tug on your clothes, help to absorb the impact.
Ha ha ha! Don't worry. Now that Mr. Edwin's not around, we're completely safe. Alright, I'm about to use Raimondo's catalyst to transform this archium into tri-state archium, and activate that big fellow outside. Then these ruins should be able to safely land on the ground. Traveler, could you please help me take some photos in the area? I need to use them as evidence for my work record.
Didn't you just say taking photos wasn't allowed?
It's fine. These will be used for reference in the Institute and won't be distributed. Unless you secretly keep a few for yourself, which I trust you won't do. Oh, right, and when you're taking photos, please look for Miss Chroni while doing so. I've got no idea where she's run off to, or where she's hiding. I really don't want to start the generator only to suddenly find a lady tossed into midair. Was there anything to read? That is cool though. Take a quick pick. Go over here, say hello. Readings are normal. Looks like everything's fine and we shouldn't come across any hiccups. Traveler, once you're done taking photos, please go find Miss Chroni. I'll come find you guys when I finish making adjustments here. Okay. Oh, take a picture anyway. And now go find her. Reactivated yet? I have a feeling it will reactivate and we have to fight it. How much you want to bet?
How suspicious. What's suspicious? Show me too. Hi, Miss Chroni. Oh, Traveler, you gave me a fright. How are you able to walk around without making any noise?
You're just too focused. Speaking of it, you followed us all the way here. Have you managed to find anything?
Not really. Since Mr. Knacker said all that, I don't really want to get in trouble. In the end, all I could take pictures of were these dilapidated houses, broken rocks, and a motionless machine. I bet I would be able to take photos of a big scoop if I could fly in the air just like you can, Paimon. Why be a reporter if you can fly? I was born to do this. It's the reason I exist.
I, too, am very sure of that, Miss Chroni.
What? You're also able to walk without making any noise? Is this a is this a new technology the Institute's developed?
Unfortunately, we don't teach walking courses. I've already completed all the preparations. In any case, Traveler, please take Miss Chronicles back to the Institute. Once the experimental field generator is activated, it will rapidly change the gravity in the surrounding area. I've been through professional training, and I know what to do in this situation. For your safety, it would be best if you stay away from here.
And how are you going to get down?
You don't need to worry about me. Mr. Edwin taught me how to use the generator personally. No one in the Institute can control this big guy as freely as I can. Not even Raimondo.
Guess we'll have to leave it to a professional then. Be careful.
You go now. We'll meet again on the surface. Are we going to get a cutscene of it coming on down? Go back to the Fontaine Research Institute. Report. This should be fine now. Huh? Please take Miss Chronicles with you and go down quickly. Be activating this big guy in a moment. Then this troublesome matter will be resolved once and for all.
But it looks really cool in the sky.
Nah, we'll see. See what happens. Run on over. You guys still chatting? Traveler, you're back. How's the work coming along?
Everything's going swimmingly. It's fine.
There are still some finishing touches that ought to be left to a professional, so Mr. Knacker is still up there.
I feel like I haven't really contributed that much.
Don't say that. You're our safety rope. Without you, dear traveler, how could we have dared to let Mr. Knacker go up there by himself? Could be said that the trip was a brilliant success. There were other benefits as well. Mr. Chronicles managed to photograph some thought-provoking images that you would like to ask me about. A few of those pictures should prove even more interesting for Mr. Knacker. Let's not talk about that for now. Come, let us take a photo together. Monsieur Choiseul will also need to present you with a certificate and an honorary title.
Honorary title?
Another one? Honorary knight? Now what's it going to be? Honorary researcher?
Ooh. And what about Paimon? Paimon will also get promotion from assistant, right?
Seeing as your traveler's companion, I guess you could join in on the photo. As for the title...
So, there's no honorary title for Paimon, then?
Honorary titles must remain limited in quantity and stay relatively rare. Otherwise, how will we get sponsors and support through awarding them? Practical.
Oh, alright then.
Then allow me to award Paimon the honorary title of Best Companion, the honorary title of Best Travel Guide, a super awesome title.
Hey, just what kind of nonsense titles are those? We're already best buddies. Paimon doesn't need a title for that.
Sorry, nose is designed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are best buds, Paimon. Hope nothing ever happens to you.
You better make travelers really awesome.
Trust, guys. Something will happen to Paimon, and then she'll become playable. She'll be a free 5-star when that happens. Trust. Nah, we'll see. We'll see what Paimon does in this story. She's already been integral the whole journey, so she'll continue to be in the future no matter what. Of course, this honorary title is of the highest standing. Besides, haven't you also been promoted to assistant to the honorary senior researcher? Oh, cool, honorary senior researcher, so I wasn't far off the mark. Honorary researcher, come on, let's get that photo taken.
An assistant's still an assistant, no matter how many words you put after it.
Alright, let's take the photo. This is an occasion to remember. Monsieur Choiseul, you're... Oh, looks like he's having a nice conversation with Miss Chronicles. Hence, this operation is a stepping stone to rebuilding the Institute. We can do it. It is our duty to do so, as it has always been. As for the former site of the Institute, we will keep it preserved forever and rebuild it as the Fontaine Research Institute Safety Education Center.
I think I've just about had enough.
Fair. I'm certain that everybody has benefited from your speech, Monsieur Chaussel. Well, now is the time to take a photo together with Traveler, wouldn't you say? Yes, of course. You must take a photo and mark this occasion with our dear honorary senior researcher of the Fontaine Research Institute. Please give us a second, Miss Coroni. This shouldn't take too long.
Oh, don't worry. It's not like the things you said just now weren't all cliches anyway. Weren't you guys going to take a photo together? Just so I can have a camera with me. Please go and stand in position. I traveled a long way to get here, so please at least make it worth the trip, okay?
Fair enough. Let's do it. Oh, cutscene. Ah, yep, there it goes off. He did say he was finishing it once and for all, right? Well, did you get a picture of the explosion?
Was that an explosion just now? What else could it have been? We're just taking a photo together. Is such a ceremonious greeting necessary? Ceremonious greeting necessary? I don't believe that was an explosion. All things considered, it was probably a controllable.
That was an explosion. Paimon was nearly blown away just now. If not, what else could it have been?
Mr. Chaussel, could you please explain this to us? Was this something that you had anticipated?
I must say, you asked a very good question, a very excellent one, as many people are wondering the same thing. The color of these bodies of water, could it be that the condenser components are already in?
Wait, Knacker hasn't come down yet.
You're right, he hasn't returned yet. Let's not delay, Traveler. We need to go now.
Wait, I want to go too. The truth behind this explosion.
Yeah, everyone's gone up to go like, what the fuck was that? Please do not act rashly, Miss Reporter. If you dip one of your toes into that water, you'll be saying goodbye to this world within a minute.
Don't scare me.
Would you? Please, just stay here. Traveler, according to your previous experience, the energy flow that remains in these bodies of water shouldn't affect you too much. Please get to the ruins as quickly as you can. I'll find my own way up. I'll meet you there.
Your own way?
I have my ways. After the explosion, I was among one of the first up there to conduct disaster investigation and evaluation. Things at that time were much more complicated than they are now. Anyway, enough talk. Let's get moving. Hopefully Mr. Knacker won't meet the same fate that Edwin did. Yikes, yeah. My goodness, was this also predicted? Oh my. Yeah, he doesn't know either.
How can I get up there? Also, will that medicine work? But he said that as long as I touch it, and those pictures, darn it, I need to think of a way.
You really should stay safe. Yeah, everyone's up and about. They're like, what? Another explosion occurred at the ruins of the central laboratory, scattering numerous condensing components for the large Archeum inhibitor into the waters around the premises. Even Raimondo were forced to venture back into the ruins to deal with the emergency. Well, from that reward, I think we're wrapping up. Again, maybe an epilogue after this, but... Oh, damn. Well, that certainly looks different. And beautiful. Said before, the crystal wasn't the issue. And the weather, the wind. So many mecha. Oh, they're drawn by the Archeum. Yeah. Feed all the mecha. Dude dismantled them. Of course. I do forget that my world level is high. It is maxed, so things are going to hit harder. Yeah, don't need to take out all of them. Origin out of control Archeum. Ah. It looks like the Archeum overloaded. That the cooling mechanism is also damaged. Knacker, what have you done here exactly? This was my fault. I didn't think that Knacker would still be unsatisfied, despite all the benefits I gave him.
Benefits? Wait a second.
Is he actually Edwin? Is he really Edwin? All along? Why are you looking at me like that? Did he say anything to you? You told Rimando of your encounters with Knacker and his attitudes toward various matters. Sweet talk. Did he tell you guys that it was people like him, Edwin's successors, who are reaping the benefits of this mess by stealing all kinds of information and selling it for a fortune? He did say that. And people were like, oh, you were like second only to Edwin.
You guys are telling completely different stories. Paimon doesn't know who to believe anymore. If only he were here, then we could find out the truth. Paimon doesn't see him at all, though.
Hi, Rio. You silly boy.
If he's not here, where could he have gone?
Maybe he already. Maybe he successfully escaped. Maybe he's already.
I don't think he was killed at the very least. I'll explain why later. For now, though, we must stabilize this Archeum as quickly as we can. The suppression system shut down, and the ore is presently in an excited state. That is what caused the explosion.
What caused the explosion? But this big rock doesn't look blown up at all.
I don't understand.
All right. I agree that this is indeed quite difficult to understand. I'll explain it in similar terms for you, because I have no choice now. The experimental field generator that Edwin created is extremely powerful, can manipulate gravity. This I believe you know already. After the explosion, all the Archeum in the Institute shattered into fragments. Among these fragments, many of them could have turned into an excited state, triggering the explosion at any time. With the use of gravity fields, they were all restrained and gathered beneath our feet. That explosion just before was a small one caused by a small part of Archeum in the ruins that was affected by energy flow. I guess you could call it a minor rehearsal of a third great explosion.
Then this ruin is a
super huge, ready to explode piece of Archeum?
So you guys did all this, not because you wanted to retrieve assets, but because you were scared this place would explode again?
Makes sense. That's just one of the objectives of this operation. But right now, our priority is to retrieve the condensing components that fell into the water and restart the suppression device. There is also Archeum inside those components, and the intense energy flow has likely caused unpredictable changes to the water bodies. Forgive me, but I'm really not capable of retrieving them and installing them back on the inhibitor. Only you are capable of doing this, traveler. Please, for the court of Fontaine, and...
Since it's urgent, I'll just get the job done first.
But once this is all over, you'd better explain everything clearly.
If all goes well, I will tell you everything I know. Condensing components 4. Drat. The energy flow is too strong here. Need to take more medicine.
About the real reason for the explosion at the Fontaine Research Institute.
You are quite inquisitive, but now is not the time for a long conversation. Please go retrieve the condensing components first. That is fair. Scattered all over. Well, let's turn around and go for this one first. Very pretty though. Let's actually take a picture first. What it looks like now. No, compared to before. go. Let's head this way. Hop off. Grab this one over here. Looks like this was the right way to do it anyway. Ah. Ooh. Parkour! Maybe that's why. Because I definitely at one point looked for octopuses. And maybe this is one I couldn't find. Because it was so high up in the air. That would make sense. Oh, Sealy over there. Oh. Ah! It's solid.
Let's look around. Find another way.
Not through the side. Doubt it would be through like the bottom here. Ah, man. Would we be able to get back up? I think I messed up, chat. Maybe if I use some not-on characters, I can parkour around. Let's use Siloli's jump.
星々よ、空に帰りなさい。
See if we can grab on. Nice. Riko's pretty uncontrollable, so
星々よ、
let's do
空
that
に帰
again.
りなさい。
Nice. Okay. Here now. Nice. There we go. Phew. Without them, I think we would have had to reset and run on over. Well, let's just touch the bubble. Ah, okay. Gotta blow those up. Like, where's the team with the bow that I can throw on real quick? There. There we go. Keep popping balls. Oh, jeez. More over there. Then last. Yes. For the moment, at least. Ah. Okay. So we did the bubbles. I hope that was the right step. I mean, should have been. Then we get in here. Ah, and then does that let us get in? Yeah, because now we're technically a liquid. Maybe? Okay, we're going up here. Yes. Go from that one? Yes, okay. Well, we got it. Figured it out. Transformed allo-gravity condensed water bodies. Uh-oh. Dangerous liquid modified somehow by the energy flowing from the condensation components. Remain within such a liquid for too long. You will accumulate turbulent energy flow. If you hit the accumulation limit, all your characters will drown. Oh, that's bad. Where is it? Where's the component? Oh! Okay, at least we can get back in now. Oh, there it is. Nice. And now we don't have to worry about that. Check that in the quest menu. need to make sure I always remember to do that. Sometimes I don't remember, and I have to leave a comment being like, hey, I read it. I did it off stream. Argument inhibitor, condenser component. A condenser component once installed, argument inhibitor, according to Raimondo. After they are reinstalled, inhibitor can be restored. Right. Yeah, so those are when flying off from the sides then. Chair over here then. Right, more or less. So yeah, we'll have to just keep we'll see if there's any nearby some of the waypoints. Otherwise we'll go back. He's nearby up there. So yeah. Oh, from here. Let's do this one then. Drum down below again. You're fine, cat. Careful. Wait. Really? Silly guys. I was like, wedge slimes? Like, is there something in here? Can we really go in? I don't want to go too far down. Yes, okay. There we go. Interesting. I'm like, I have to be very careful here. Oh, like these guys. Yep. Ow. Freeze. Grab that one. Let's do this. This. I don't want to go off the edge, so I'll stay there. Now we're in. Yep. Oh, the timer right. Got books. There it is. Second one down. I think we just got TB on back. go for those. It didn't look like there's an easy way from where we were at. Just gonna float on over. Oh, well, that was a simple one. Thank you, Halia. Oh, never mind. Well, let's see. Oh, simple or not. Showing us the path. Bit of a maze in there. This is cool though, how they're showing you. You can go in and out using the 3D environment well. Oh, you're okay, cat. What do you want? You want that? You readjusting? What's going on, silly boy? Just readjusting. And there we are. Bip, bap, boom. Grab that. Sure, this is a little puzzle here. Can't remember how long that state stays in. Oh well. I'll figure it out on stream chat. If there is a little puzzle going on there, let's head over here now. Last one. No, they broke the rules of 3. Set rules of 4. Music's beautiful though. Solemn track. Ooh, but properly displaying the beauty of the area. I was like, I am about to run out of stamina. And try to do a jump. Should not do that. Well, I just said I shouldn't do that. And then I did it. I was just saying, do I need to swap to Chlorand so we have a little bit more height? Yeah, it's cool they set up these little puzzles here. I know I need to unlock that in the future when I can. Oh, it's the key can't run around upstairs. The little guy. Well, say little. He's fully grown, but he's still young. There we go. Then we can see what's truly going on. there it is. Simple enough. Talk to Raimondo. Check here as well. Certainly did venture back in. There's the device. Yep. Where'd he go? Knacker. The hard Mr. Knacker really knows how to create trouble for others, just like that boss of his, Edwin Eastonhouse.
What are you doing here?
We really can't catch a break. Not only did the explosion break off the condensing components of the device, but it also destroyed the self-sustaining system of the inhibitor. I'm about to remove the 2 backup pneumosia cores in the experimental field generator, and use them to supply energy to the inhibitor.
Luckily, this big fella can't move. Otherwise, we wouldn't even have time to run.
It's just not moving right now, you mean?
Hey, knock on wood. Don't say things like that. What if it actually starts moving?
Don't worry. Its main source of energy is that big chunk of archeum behind it. Although the archeum has transformed into an activated state, the explosion damaged all the energy supply lines, so it's lost all of its energy supply. Huh? The archeum kinetic core should have been right here. Where did it?
Hold on. You said that the pneumosia cores were a backup energy source. And isn't the activation condition for backup energy sources the complete loss of energy?
Yep. Knew we would have to fight it at some point. That Chekhov's gun sort of situation.
Oh, Rio, you're such a big baby.
You stinker.
Yep. If you're going out, you're not coming back in for the next few minutes. Yeah. Go. Go. Brett.
There's not much of stream left anyway. Like I said, I think we've been
Close to the end. Just had a few side adventures there. Anyway.
Sorry, Paimon. Sorry I interrupted you. Only 2. And Charlotte? Plunge attack.
It stopped.
I knew you could do it. Quick, grab those 2 cores. Let's go hook up the power. Just like before, you go connect the energy source. Now adjust the device. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna start looking better. There we go. Yeah, bright and sunny now. So, what's going on here? Finally, it's stabilized. The archeum has transformed into an inert state. We in the Fontaine Research Institute are safe. For now.
But it seems there are ever more secrets.
As for the things you'd like to know, I'll be happy to answer. But not right now. What I can tell you now, based on my hypothesis, is that Mr. Knacker stole the archeum kinetic core and triggered this small explosion. Stole the core, but why? But before explaining in too much detail, we should return to the Institute, place the proper notation and partitions into this interlude. Or at the very least, we need to stop Miss Journalists from getting more deeply involved. The archeum kinetic core is connected to too many other matters, and we must handle it in complete confidentiality. So I would like you to cooperate with my work.
Cooperate with your work?
You're not saying to play along with your lies, are you? The scarier something is, the more you should share it with others. Then we can all work together to deal with it faster.
I have my doubts about that. You too. Every matter has its own way of being dealt with, and in this instance, we must first call for silence. but I promised that I would never have you steer from your moral standards or demand that you have the same standard of behavior as we do. All I ask is for you to remain quiet. You need not do anything else. You might be wondering why I would have you remain silent while telling you the truth. I'll just come out and say it now. Your coming here is the only good fortune that our institute has had in nearly 100 years. No matter what happens or what the cost is, we must maintain good relations with you. I'm sure Mr. Chaucel feels the same way.
Is telling the truth also a cost as far as you're concerned? Is transparency something you consider a cost as well?
Yeah, you're only just telling us the truth now, which you should have done ages ago. Just what sort of cost is that?
Dear Sir, Paimon, telling the truth honestly is, in truth, the greatest price the greatest price one can pay. He's not entirely wrong, depending on what that truth is. Let's go back. I ask sincerely for your understanding and to provide all necessary cooperation. Stay silent but nod, or shake head. The argument has finally been stabilized and the crisis resolved. You follow Raimondo back to the Fontaine Research Institute as for Knacker's whereabouts and status, and the real reason why the Institute handled the central laboratory the way it did. Should you tell the truth? Of course, she's all about getting the truth, so... Oh boy.
Miss Croni, everything we do is in the best interest of the people of the Court of Fontaine. So, what you're saying is that the Fontaine Research Institute predicted the explosion just now? Are you kidding? Do you think I'm just strolling there? You can't hoodwink me that easily.
I think Monsieur Chaucel has expressed himself clearly enough. The situation is still under control. The status quo of the Court of Fontaine will not be adversely affected. Now, allow me to make a statement explaining the events that really occurred.
That's enough, mister. I don't believe you for a second.
Good.
Traveler, you should have seen everything, right? I'm begging you, tell me the truth. Let's cooperate with Raimondo for now. I'll tell you the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Well, to be fair, there kind of were like, they're like, we have to stay in your good graces, right? So even if we tell the truth, they should still be like, well, you know, we need you, so.
I'm all ears, my dear traveler.
You tell Crony everything that has happened from beginning to end, without omitting everything. Wait, we actually got the choice? About the large Archeum and the experimental field generator. About Knacker, who is missing and could be alive or dead. And about Raimondo's accusations of him having stolen the Archeum kinetic core. And of course what Raimondo cares the most about, the central laboratory ruins that could explode again at any time.
I'm shocked. Mr. Chaucel, were you aware of this?
Of course, I am. My goodness.
So the Fontaine Research Institute doesn't even have the courage to face their own mistakes, just to cover up the fact that you couldn't deal with the Archeum problem. You did absolutely everything you could. What I find most surprising is that you even tried to trick Traveler, who has been doing their utmost to help. You even wanted to use Traveler's credibility to convince me that Knacker was behind all of these crimes.
Huh, Croni, did you really understand?
I completely understand everything, dear Paimon. Thank you for dropping such subtle hints for me.
Hints? Did we drop any hints?
Of course. I know that what the Institute really wants to hide. The fact that central laboratory ruins can explode again at any time. Or to put it another way, Archeum is still a threat to the entire Court of Fontaine. Ridiculous. A person's life isn't something you can throw away to help spread your own lies.
I've already told you the truth, Miss Croni. Please listen to a final word of advice. It takes only the slightest bit of effort to fixate on something, but it always takes more brain power to avert your gaze from it. That's what Knacker said earlier.
Enough. I won't listen to another word you say. nor will I dwell on this. Your words, deeds, and all the facts concealed by the Institute will be reported on in the next issue of the Steambird. Good day, gentlemen.
Miss Cronai strides away from the Fontaine Research Institute.
Thank goodness, that's finally over with. Oh, and thank you too, Traveler. I didn't do what you asked me to. I thought you would.
You thought I would throw a tantrum at you and scold you for not doing what I said. My dear Traveler, since the very beginning, your job has only been to escort the researcher to the ruins for an expedition. What I asked you to do was above and beyond the call of duty. It would have been great if you kept your silence, as that would have saved us a lot of trouble in the future, yes. But it's not necessarily bad that you told her the truth. I believe that now that Miss Cronai has gotten what she wants, she will not bother us again for the time being.
She will tell the public everything.
I believe she will do that. I hope the people of Fontaine will like the truth she publicizes. But as for us, we still have much to be concerned about. For example, the whereabouts of Mr. Knacker and the Archium-connected core. So this is definitely a situation where, knowing the outcomes, I probably would have chosen the other one to keep it hidden, but to do that, because it would have kept Cronai around then, still investigating, and would have made the Institute a little bit happier. Knowing that, hey, actually there's some stuff a little bit different, this quest. But shall we first give you a few awards as well? Monsieur Chaussel, would you do the honors?
Oh, of course, that's right. I've already prepared everything. There's a certificate, trophy, and other forms of remuneration, too. But before that, let's take a group photo together. The one we took before had an unseemly explosion in the background. This new photo must be decent enough to be worthy of your status as our honorary senior researcher.
Of course, Chaussel and Raimondo stand in the same position as before, and an Institute researcher takes a photo for everyone. It's funny.
Perfect. Look at us. A decent bunch of people. The ostentatious award ceremony has finally ended. The scene just isn't explosive enough.
Hey, stop it. No more exploding. Any more explosions and Paimon will have nightmares.
This certificate and trophy are for you. I'll post a copy of the cert on the Institute bulletin board later. I hope our researchers will follow your example. On this path, we must strive to take the lead, overcome all obstacles, and put in 120% of our... I actually have more questions for you.
Of course, I know what you want to ask. Even though your questions are all, extremely complicated, I'm willing to answer them. In any case, I believe we'll have more opportunities to work together in the future. Honorary senior researcher. Is that a wrap? That is, I hear the noise, yeah. Chronicles complete. Did end up getting a trophy. Which is pretty funny considering we went against what they strictly wanted there. Want to make sure we don't start another mission by accident. Looks like we're good to chat with them and then end off stream. Yeah, I'll give my thoughts. Is there something I can help you with? The questions. Bye, I hope you have a good day.
Oh, if it isn't our honorary senior researcher, welcome. Can I help you with anything, or have you come to help me with something instead? Ha ha ha. About the Institute's current state, do you and Raimondo run things together? See you. Everything is good. It's better than ever. Now that egomaniac Edwin is gone, the gang of thieves on their end no longer exists either. More importantly, the Institute has a chance to be reborn. We can take off the shackles and burdens of the past to focus wholeheartedly on building our foundations once again. That is, to work hard for the well-being of all the people of the Court of Fontaine. I'm currently gathering some people and preparing a code of conduct for our organization. It will include principles on the use of funds, research asset management methods, and ethical standards that should be observed in scientific research and work. All research-related behavior at our institute will have relevant rules and provisions. What a wonderful future. It's simply the best. No, to be precise,
We deal with affairs related to different areas. Remaindo is responsible for getting scientific work and research back on track, and I'm responsible for everything apart from that. For example, I'm responsible for arranging funds related to manpower, quarterly budget allocations, reaccommodating visitors, and getting rid of those journalists together with Raimondo. But our main goal remains the same, to rebuild the Fontaine Research Institute and work hard for the well-being. Yeah. That's what he had in his first one as well. You go and do what you need to do. The Institute will always welcome you. Is there something I can help you with?
Why do you think that knacker is still alive? About the Archeum kinetic core, about Edwin, about the current situation. About the current situation. Why do you think the knacker stole the core? Goodbye.
Considering the interests of the Institute and my personal point of view, I do in fact hope that both he and the Archeum kinetic core were obliterated in that explosion. That would mean that the last traces of Edwin Eastinghouse's influence would be gone for good. Sorry. But like I said earlier, that explosion was actually a small-scale Archeum fragment resonance. Moreover, most of the Archeum fragments in the explosion radius were ore waste that have been fully depleted of energy. Logically speaking, even if a large Archeum chunk had gone out of control, causing the ore waste to resonate, such a violent explosion should not have occurred. The only possibility is that someone specially collected Archeum that has not been depleted from other areas and piled them here. They then overloaded that large Archeum chunk on purpose to create an Archeum resonance, so as to trigger an explosion to cover up certain traces that would have existed otherwise. Nagar has always conducted research with Edwin and has a good understanding of the nature of Archeum. It wouldn't take him much effort to do something like this. Still, that's just my preliminary conjecture. As for what happens next, we'll need to wait for the Research Institute to conduct a more detailed investigation.
But why did he steal this core?
This Archeum kinetic core is the most cutting-edge technology created by the Fontaine Research Institute to date. It wouldn't be a bad idea to sell it or use it in the development of another project. But considering his level of academic expertise, I would rather he sell this Archeum kinetic core for a good price.
About the Archeum.
Yeah. Before we discuss this further, I believe Nacker and Miss Crawley must have mentioned something to you already. They must have told you that my research projects and those of Edwin Eastonhouse had some overlap. But this is not entirely accurate. In fact, this Archeum kinetic core is the fruit of my joint research with him. In theory, if we constantly inject this kinetic core with enough energy, it can easily allow the experimental field generator to run at full power. After creating this core, we both realized a problem. We could barely find any way to keep injecting it with enough energy to keep it at maximum power. Edwin and I tried powering it with a mixture of pneumosia and Archeum energy, by connecting large numbers of Archeum ores in series to create a superpowered group, but neither worked. That was the situation until we found that giant Archeum, although it was always in an inert state. Edwin and I were certain that this ore had unprecedented purity. We believed that with the right treatment, this ore could definitely output the large amount of energy we needed. But then Edwin and I had a disagreement. I offered a more conservative proposal, but he wanted to solve the problem rather more quickly.
Oh, kitty cat, you're fine. I'll be done soon, you big baby.
You should know everything else that happened after that. Edwin. He was a genius in the field of scientific research. It's no exaggeration to say that his talent was only second to our first director, Elaine Guillotin. At the same time, he was an inhuman monster. Nothing mattered to him other than his scientific research. Edwin was willing to do anything or pay any price to advance his research. He once told me that research results were the only remuneration he needed. He said, "I don't need any remuneration. To me, research itself is the best reward."
Sounds a lot like a certain doctor we know, Dottore. There's been a few characters in Genshin where it's like, oh, you're sort of research at all costs sort of person. And, been doing your thing. Though Edwin seems more recent than Dottore, so don't think it's him.
But story's been up to no good for a very long time. However, even though Edwin was a pure researcher, the people under him were all experts in furthering their own interests, that is. Some secretly sold research assets, some plagiarized research results, and some used his name to scam others. They ruined the Fontaine Research Institute's reputation, little by little. Like I said before, as long as his research could advance, Edwin wouldn't do anything about this. In this way, they used Edwin's name to take all the Institute's resources for themselves. The Institute could only continue to conduct detailed reviews on the personnel and funding of Edwin's project team. Mr. Chausseur led many of these review operations personally. Yeah, he does seem like a numbers, details guy. However, in the mouths of such people, these actions were construed as bureaucratic arrogance and distrust to researchers. More and more conflicts took place between us. No one knew how to resolve them. But now those conflicts no longer exist. Still got 2 more questions. Situation. Your question is not a technical one, but rather an administrative one. I think you should ask Mr. Chaussel about this instead. Fair enough. And we already did. He's like, I'm so happy to reorganize and rebuild it. Do you still remember me flipping through the pictures Miss Chronicles took in the ruins? There's one of Nagar working in front of the suppression device. It's quite blurry, but I'm quite certain that his actions are definitely not part of any operational procedure.
That doesn't really mean anything, though. Maybe a thief came flying across from the nearby mountain and stole the core?
That's most definitely impossible. The energy flow of the Archeum here is the best anti-theft measure there is. No ordinary person can withstand it. Besides, the timing of the experimental fuel generator's activation is simply too perfect. It cannot be a mere coincidence. I have a preliminary conjecture. Nagar, or should I say, the one who stole the core likely removed the Archeum kinetic core early on, activating the backup energy source. I know that his name. If you say it a little wrong, YouTube might not be happy with me. However, pneumosia cores are relatively inefficient energy sources, and they have to keep up a continuous output of energy to reach the activation threshold of this contraption here. Hence, this person intentionally activated a large Archeum chunk, creating a modest but rather noticeable explosion. This way, when the Institute sends someone to investigate, they would be certain to fix the Archeum inhibitor first. By the time they realized that they'd have to go to the experimental fuel generator to retrieve the backup energy supply, the generator would have already finished charging. From a technical perspective, such a modus operandi is highly probable. Those within the Institute capable of doing this would only be Edwin, Mr. Nacker, and myself. I doubt Edwin had the opportunity to do anything to that effect, which leaves 2 remaining suspects. Myself and Mr. Nacker.
Maybe this was all you're doing then.
Yeah, you said that Nacker lied, but you've also been lying all along. Maybe this was all just part of your plan, and you tricked us into escorting you there so you could grab whatever it was you wanted.
Your accusation is not entirely baseless. After this, I'll also apply for and submit myself to the Institute's credibility review. As far as I'm concerned, though, Mr. Nacker is the one more likely to have committed this act. If this really was his doing, then he should be the one with the most to gain from it. Even if I am listed alongside him as a suspect, his chances of being convicted are certainly greater than mine.
I'm trying to organize my thoughts right now about what we just went through, because it's interesting. But we got some stuff, but we didn't get much of other stuff. This definitely felt like the beginning of a series of quests, more than a quest in of itself, right? Like, will we see Nacker in the future, and stuff like that. Learn more about Archeum as we go, and Edwin, right? It's like we have all these teases and hints about the past and current situation and what might happen in the future. And I'm just like, Again, this feels like the intro to it more than anything else.
I did like him though. I liked the time we spent with him. He did seem rather genuine, and his byplay with Chronicles was really fun. And like I said at the end there, actually interesting that we got sort of a choice that matters a little bit with telling their secrets or not. Like I said, like as it got revealed, it's like, oh, I think I would have rather kept the secrets, Chronicles hanging around more and getting to find out more and reveal the whole truth at the end to her rather than at the start. But no, that was pretty fun. And as well, checking the notes and talking to these two as well as Knacker was like, they definitely actually spoke the majority of the time like you kind of would expect these intelligent members of a, you know, research society to act. Like there's occasionally here and there where I was like, would they use a word like that? But then, like I said, the large majority of the time, no, they were they were absolutely very eloquent and speaking their mind and concealing things as well from Chronicles. It was really fun in that regard. Like I think as far as writing goes, the character writing here is really, really fun, but leaves you with more questions than answers for sure. But that's where we'll leave it off for today. Let me know what you guys thought about the quest, either the first time you guys went through it or going through it again with me here. What are your thoughts, and what's a follow-up quest I should do? I'm sure there's one. Like I said, I'll be going through all of these, so the next one I want to do is the Wild Fairy. But I have a ton to get to. I'll get to the ones with the blue highlights first, and then after that, we'll be getting into Notland stuff and going back to Sumeru, do some of those. Yeah, there's still a lot to do in Genshin, a lot to catch up on, but I'm very excited to continue exploring, fleshing out the world as we go. But thank you guys so much for coming on by. Also, feel free in your comment as well. Which character did you like the most? Chronicles, any of the ones we met along the journey. I'm not forgetting like one or two of their names, but I'm not remembering one or two of their names. But yeah, feel free to let me know which one struck a chord with you. But like I was saying, with that, we'll end off there. Hope you guys all have a great day, not whatever time it is for you. If you enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe. And I hope you just all have a great, happy day. Thank you all so much for the recent support and continued support in the future. Love you all. See you guys next time. Bye-bye. See ya. Yeah, I mean, my only goal at the end of the day, that you guys smile and laugh. Yeah, it took a little longer, like an hour longer than I thought it would, but that's okay. I'll figure some stuff out. It'll be all good. Oh, you big baby. Yes, I'll let you in, Rio. Yeah, he wants in. Okay, bye-bye for real. See ya.